There are several key milestones on the journey to becoming a better fighting game player, starting with mastering the basics like movement, blocking, normal attacks, EX attacks, and so on. Eventually you get into the mind game stuff like conditioning your opponent, but most likely the majority of your time will be spent learning combos. Combos teach timing, execution, and the importance of converting stray hits into meaningful damage. As you become more comfortable with them, you'll start to optimize your combos, and that's where loops come into play. They are fundamental for optimization, but can be notoriously difficult to master. A loop is a sequence of attacks that can be repeated more than once, often leading to high damage. Unlike regular combos, they create a closed pattern that resets to its initial state, allowing it to happen over again, until the game's mechanics force it to end. That loop can sometimes be one move, or in between a starting and ending combo. It's like how some games loop portions of the music, but they have a unique starting and ending point. Some loops are like that if you want to get the most out of it. They end in specials or supers, but if you do that you most likely want it to kill, because you're going to spend all your meter on it. The key components of a loop are its precise timing, and understanding of game mechanics, and sometimes even your opponent's defensive options. Obviously most of the time loops are combos, but sometimes they can be defensive traps, punishing poor reactions or wrong guesses. So today, we're going to look at how loops work in fighting games, and if you want to see more videos like this, then make sure to subscribe. I'm not sure which fighting game was the first to have prominent loops in it, but one of the earliest I can remember was in Third Strike by a character named Yun. Yun had a special that let him cancel the recovery of his moves, so that let him loop a lot of moves that otherwise would be impossible. Even the same move he just did.
Okay, he's like, you're gonna go high, huh? Hey. Nice.
Looks pretty simple at first, just the same move over and over again, and if you do that you get to delete your opponent's health bar. But this combo not only had different timing depending on which character you're fighting against, but it also had something known as Kara canceling. Most fighting games have a bit of leniency when it comes to the first few frames of an input. A Kara cancel takes advantage of those frames by quickly canceling your first input into the second one. So what usually happens is people will cancel a move that has forward movement into the move that they actually want to do, giving it more range than it's supposed to have. It often has to be done so quick that you can barely see the first move come out. Sometimes you don't even see it at all. So Yun is actually Kara canceling here into standing heavy punch from standing medium punch. So the entire sequence is heavy punch, micro walk forward, then Kara cancel medium punch into another heavy punch, and repeat that like 10 times into the ending combo. I'd probably lose sleep trying this in training mode, let alone in an actual game. But thanks to today's sponsor Mantis Sleep, you can sleep it off and wake up refreshed the next day. It's summertime right now, and you don't want any light in your face while you sleep in. Manta masks completely seal any light from coming in, while being soft on the eyes. They sent me the Sound Sleep mask that has these slim Bluetooth headphones, so you can play any sounds while you sleep. And they have a 20-hour battery life too. You don't have to worry about it running out while you sleep. What I really like about the mask is that everything is adjustable. The straps, eye cups, even the individual speakers. So if you want to sleep better, make sure to click the link in the description and use code Typhoon at the checkout for 10% off your next purchase. Thank you to Mantis Sleep for sponsoring, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of this video. The technical barrier to loops only got harder in Street Fighter 4. A lot of the combos in that game required one-frame links, meaning you only had a window of just 1/60th of a second to press the next button in a combo correctly. Now imagine doing that multiple times in a combo. I know I probably couldn't. Luckily there's a way to make this easier. Plinking. Priority linking, also known as plinking, is a technique used to increase the timing window between inputs. By pressing a button, immediately followed by another of lower priority in the next frame, players could effectively trick the game into reading the first input multiple times, making it a 2-frame link instead of 1. Still hard, but at least you doubled your chances of success. Evil Ryu had a cool axe kick combo that involved a lot of plinks. You can see here that medium punch is being inputted first, then light punch on the next frame, even though it wasn't pressed the second time. This combo specifically works against Rufus because his hitbox makes the axe kick link into crouching jab 1 frame instead of 2, and that gives him 6 frames of advantage, which is just enough to link into close heavy punch and do the loop over again. A lot of confusing frame data that honestly I don't fully understand, but basically this loop is possible because of his size. Although Street Fighter has become more lenient since then, it has birthed some really long loops. Guile's boom loops with his V-trigger in Street Fighter 5 were essential to optimizing damage, and they kinda carried over to Street Fighter 6 as well. Instead of using V-trigger to extend the loops, you use Drive Rush to get in close, which actually works similar to his old V-trigger, which lets you throw out about 5 sonic booms without needing to charge. You can still get some really long combos without the level 2 super, as long as you have full drive meter. Now don't get me wrong, these combos are still hard to pull off, even though there's no 1-frame links in this game, but instead of testing your extremely precise timing, they test your endurance. You can see how much damage scaling his combos had in Street Fighter 5, and it makes sense. I mean, look how long they go on for. But what if it never ends? What if the loop goes on forever? The devs wouldn't do that, right? Well, whether it's intentional or not, infinites exist in a number of fighting games. I mean, you can say technically it's not infinite because the game has to end at some point, because their health would go down, or the clock would run out, but they call them infinites because in theory the combo could go on forever. Like if you were in training mode, for example. Most of the time, infinite combos get patched out eventually, like Dan's Infinite. It's kind of funny that they gave the quote-unquote joke character a meterless combo that could go on forever, and even if you did use EX meter, you could build it right back. You can see the game never intended for any combo to go past 99 hits. It just gets stuck there once you hit it. There is a game where infinites are normal to its gameplay. Because the Marvel vs. Capcom series are team games, infinite combos aren't as devastating. First of all, they're really hard to pull off. And if you drop it, well, you just gave your opponent a ton of meter. If you do successfully kill them, however, you only killed 1 out of 3 of their characters. It isn't completely over yet. Not every infinite combo was practical, I mean most weren't, and only worked in specific conditions, but still possible. The most practical one was probably the Iron Man Infinite. It works in a lot of situations, and if there's ever a tournament, you probably see this character at some point, along with Magneto. Now there is one loop that I haven't talked about yet. One that technically isn't a combo, it's more about the mental aspect of fighting games rather than pure execution. Throw loops refer to scenarios where a player can repeatedly throw the opponent due to frame advantage or limited defensive options. These loops thrive on ambiguity, whether the attacker would throw again, strike, or shimmy. The constant guessing game favors the attacker, and it requires the defender to make quick decisions under pressure. If you play Street Fighter 6, you've probably seen a lot of discourse around how annoying throw loops can be in that game. And it's because the defender's options aren't really that good. And throw protection is only like 2 frames, so you can't really mash on wake up like in Guilty Gear, for example. Because of that, a lot of people just choose to take the throw and get hit with a small bit of damage instead of potentially taking a full combo. But eventually that damage adds up, and it feels like you ate a full combo anyway. Looping moves can also be helpful with block strings. In Guilty Gear Strive, Potemkin's Garuda Impact guard crushes and chips on block. That is if they don't spend any meter on faultless defense. And the threat of Heavenly Potbuster or Heat Knuckle usually deters them from jumping, so sometimes you can get away with chipping a lot of their health, or even Roman cancelling into Potbuster. Overall, loops are just something you have to face at some point, whether it's you doing the damage or someone doing it to you. It can sometimes be the difference between winning or losing. I'm sure at some point we've all had a time where we thought something would kill, but there's a tiny little sliver of health left, and they end up winning the round against you. If only you optimized that combo. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know which character you like doing loops with. And also, what do you think about the throw loop situation in Street Fighter 6? I didn't really talk much about it, but I know a lot of people are complaining about how they work right now. So what would you change about it? As always, make sure to like and subscribe, join the Discord, check out my second channel. I'm gonna post a Street Fighter video on there, so maybe you wanna check that out. I hope you guys have a great day. Peace.